Hi, okay, so like forever I've been talking about doing videos because over the years I've done loads of cooking, and two of my favorite things are how to cook on a budget and how to cook quickly as well. Okay, so today I want to show you something that I learned how to do it serendipitously. My first cooking video ever. So I don't know how professional it will be, but it'll be me. What I'm going to show you is a really easy way to handle chicken and to cook it. A lot of my cooking is hands-on. I remember teaching some younger girls in their teens we went to the market together, we went to the meat market, chicken market, and they were squeamish and they're like, oh, I can't touch this. So you can wear gloves, but I do a lot of hand washing. I like to feel my food. I like to actually having contact with my food helps the cooking process. So it might work for you, it might not. While I share my tips with you to help you out, I also talk to you about things. So you're going to learn a whole load about me, how I do things, and I hope you enjoy it. And I hope it makes this period fly past. Okay, now washed my hands, got my own personal hand drying cloth with me. So chicken, it's something that when I was growing up in Nigeria, I wouldn't say we ate a lot of, but it was special occasion food. Now it's much different. It is something that is readily available. I think in Nigeria we call it agric chicken as opposed to hard chicken. That was the chicken that roamed around free range, that had really thick muscles, that you added loads of water to cook and season. My mother used to say, okay, it's time for you to season the chicken. So what we've got today is some chicken for you, okay? I've got about 30 pieces actually here. Chicken thigh meat that has been deboned. I've also got, again, to make your life easier, spice up chicken. There you go. We've got our own chicken spice. We also have other spices, spice up lamb, spice up beef, spice up fish. The purpose of all these spices is to make your life easier, really, because this is a one-stop shop spice for any chicken dish. Also, we've got a bit of sea salt here. Okay, we've got sea salt. And in typical West African way, we like heat when we're spicing up things. But because spice up chicken is not really hot, in fact, it's not a hot spice. It is spicy and tasty, but it's not hot. We have with us today a range of chili sauces. I have a small bottle here for you, a sample size bottle here for you. There's a great looking chili sauce, and I'm going to use some of our chili sauce to add the heat. Chili sauces will feature, I'm sure, in different videos and for different ways and in different sizes, but here's our wedding favor size. You can give these out as gifts, but I'm going to use it to cook today. So I said quick, right? The only other thing we have is some chopped onions. And this was it. Mother used to say, Margaret, go and season the meat and get it ready, get it cooked. So we'd had our meat seasoned, we cooked it, and then it was all ready to go when you made your sauces and your stews and your curries and whatever you like to call them. Okay, so we've got our chicken here, and we've got a bit of sea salt. Okay, so I'm just going to sprinkle some salt. Remember, I have about 35 pieces of chicken thigh meat. Okay, I've got my chopped onions. I'm going to be generous with that. Okay, all in there. I've got my spice up chicken mix, which is going in next, and I'm going to use about 30 mils. So that's 2 tablespoons of spice up chicken mix to my 35 pieces. Now, if I was cooking just for a family of 4, you would use about a tablespoon. I am quite generous on my spices. I would use about a tablespoon for about 6 to 8 pieces of chicken meat. There's something called Ayurvedic cooking, so you kind of sense when you're cooking. And I found out that I cook very Ayurvedically. But if I'm going to help you out, I need to give you quantities, I need to give you some ideas. I say play around with it and you get used to what works with you. But if I was going to do this with about 4 to 8 pieces of chicken, I would put about 7.5 mil. So that's half a tablespoon to a tablespoon in my chicken mix. And now I'm going to be really generous, and I'm going to pour the whole 33 grams of my chili sauce into my mixture. And you'd think I would stop at that, wouldn't you? But I did say we like it spicy, so I'm adding another 33 grams of that. So I would be adding about 4 tablespoons of chili sauce to this. But remember I said 35 pieces of chicken thighs. Now, the thing to remember here is that we're going to give it a good mix, okay? I'm stirring it all in. And this is where I'm using my hands. This is where I say that I'm a very hands-on person in my cooking. I'm making sure that it's all mixed in. Now, the other thing you could do is you could toss it, okay? Shake and toss to make sure it all mixes in so that you don't have any contact with the chicken if that's how you desire it. So I've done this now, and I'm looking at this. I'm giving it a good look to see if I feel, now that I've wrapped all the pieces of chicken in spice and onion and salt, whether it is sufficiently seasoned. I'm getting odors and smells of chili sauce and spice up chicken and onion. It's really actually quite lovely. Here we go. Here's our seasoned chicken mix. Okay. From experience, you'll know what kind of works best for you. There's a temptation now. I've looked at this. I'm going to add a little more. So to be honest with you, I'm using almost 35 grams of spice up chicken for 35 pieces of chicken thigh meat, boneless. You can do this with bone in, and that's what we'd do if I was back home in Africa. So we've got some lovely pieces of chicken that look great. Now, the next thing is we want to cook these, and this is the part that I want to help you out with. So I've done this. It's taken a while because I've been chatting with you. I'm showing you things. But if you were doing this in your own kitchen, it really wouldn't take long at all. And what I'm going to use today is a Dutch oven. I love these Dutch ovens, Dutch pots. This particular Dutch pot is Jamaican inspired, but in Africa we have them. The South Africans call them poikies, and we call them black pots, and certainly when we're cooking in large quantities, that's what we use. Okay, so this is the important part here. I've got my chicken in here. I'm going to take it over to the cooker after washing my hands. Okay, so my chicken is now happily in my pan. You will notice I haven't mentioned anything about water. What I'm doing here now is I'm getting it and putting it on the heat. Now this is the key. You put it on the heat, you turn it down low. You turn it down as low as it could possibly go, and you cover that pan and you leave it to cook. So I start by saying you bring it to the boil. It is vitally key. Put it on low heat and leave it to cook. You bring it to the boil. So that will take something like 15 minutes, depend on how many pieces you've got in there. And we're going to time it here, and we're going to see what happens. And then once it comes to the boil, you cook your chicken for another 15 to 20 minutes in the juices that have collected in this pan. No water added to it, no stock added to it. But at the end of this, you're going to get some fantastic chicken stock, and you're going to get absolutely gorgeous tasting chicken that has kept all its flavorings in without doing anything, without adding any water to it. You freeze the chicken stock to use in future, or you use it in a meal, and you carry on and use your cooked chicken in your meal. Now, the one thing to mention here is there's something called twice cooked chicken. I twice cooked chicken. If you want to brown it, you put it in the oven for another, on quite high heat, on about 200 degrees, for another 10 to 15 minutes just to brown that chicken, and then you can serve it like that. So we're going to take a break. We're going to let the chicken develop, and then we'll get back to you. Hi, so part 2, maximum cooking time. You can see that steaming away in the background. So here we go with our chicken pieces. They have been cooked, and the fab thing about this is they're not overcooked, they're not dry, they're just really nice and moist. This really lends itself to being put in the oven now to dry it off a bit, to give it that fried feeling without being fried. But you know what's most exciting? Well, it's exciting that we have lovely, tasty cooked chicken. When you use our range of chili sauces, Ashaka chili sauces, have a taste of this and you think, oh, that's okay, that's not spicy, and then you get all that heat after. Do you know what? I've got a whole load of chicken stock here, and I'm so excited about that, and I want to show you this. So I got my bowl here, and this is the exciting part of this. Remember that we did not add one bit of water to this chicken. When chicken is processed these days, quite a bit of water is pumped into it. And so that's what we're pumping out, but we're also keeping flavors. If you add water when you're cooking, you water down some of the flavors. And here we go. We have created quite a lot of chicken stock. Okay, so you don't need to go to the shop to buy your own little jelly pots of stuff, of stock or stock cubes or anything, and you know what's gone into them. If you put this stock into little ice cube makers, the little ice cube makers, you have your own, they will firm up, they will be like little jelly stock cubes, or you just put them in a bowl and you have stock to use when you want to make soups, to make stews, to add to your curries, and you have all this lovely steaming hot chicken that is so well flavored. Unfortunately for you, I can only show you the goodness, but the smells that are hitting my nose right now are actually amazing. Can you smell them over there?
Yeah.
Yeah, you keep, okay, so there you go, someone else there confirming for that. So this ends part 1 of my videos, and as long as we are self-isolating, I will try and bring you different ideas, different things, and if you get excited about this and you have anything you want to ask me, feel free to do that, and I'll try and do a video explaining it, because I know a fair bit about cooking. Have a good day, stay safe.